Hey Orphan Network friends, I'm down here in Nicaragua and wanted to be able to show you firsthand what's going on down here. So if you'll be with me for the next few minutes, we're going to take a brief tour through Nueva Vida. Hope you enjoy it. It's 11:30 a.m. in Nueva Vida. You're still saying, Buenos dias, good morning, as you pass people on the street. The first few children are making their way to the local church for the feeding program at 12. Some will come barefoot, others shepherding younger siblings, and some without bowls or plates, hoping that there will be extras at the feeding center. The kids will sit and wait patiently inside the church, or play with their friends outside, running around the street while they wait for word that the food is ready. Today, the food is still boiling away inside the kitchen. Cooking for 150 children at each feeding center isn't quick. It looks like the kids are eating the nutrient-fortified rice and soy from Orphan Network's partner aid organization, Stop Hunger Now. While the cooks finish up, let's visit some of the sustainable businesses around these feeding programs before everyone takes a lunch break. Before Pastor Berman moved to Nueva Vida, he was a middle-class jeweler. Now, as the senior pastor of Verbo Church in Nueva Vida and the architect behind the 5-church feeding program, he teaches youth from the community the trade, creating opportunities for a new future. Would you like to learn how to make a ring? Pastor Berman will pick up the process once a mold has already been created and show us the rest.
Comenzamos a fundirlo. Pero lo fundimos, aquí lo fundimos.
They melt the silver over here, so when it gets melted,
okay. Y una vez que está fundido, nosotros venimos con esto y empujamos con el aire, la presión, entonces todo el material, lo que es plata o oro, se introduce.
Mi nombre es Jeffrey. Quiero enseñarles un poco cómo se hace un anillo.
Jeffrey, one of the youth serving in the feeding program and working with Pastor Berman in the jewelry shop, is excited to show us his trade. He's showing us how to sand and polish the ring. He was probably about 3 years old when his family lost everything in Hurricane Mitch and moved to Nueva Vida. Now 13 years later, there's hope in the community and in Jeffrey for new life. Pastor Jose Luis took Berman's vision for sustainable businesses in Nueva Vida and began a bakery with the similar hope of creating jobs, teaching youth from the community, and giving the profit back to the feeding program at the church. Jose Luis built his bakery in 2008 and has been expanding ever since. In their first year of business, they employed just 4 bakers and sent out walkers into the community for delivery. Today, the bakery has 18 employees and has expanded from delivery on foot to bicycles and now to motorcycles, increasing their market tenfold. The bakery now makes nearly 10 different kinds of bread for families throughout Nueva Vida, from fluffy dinner rolls to sweet desserts. More importantly, it serves as a model in the community for a business which not only created a host of jobs, but which also gives back to the feeding program, to the children in its neighborhood. It teaches the community that there are opportunities and hope for a new life. Besides jewelry and bread, there are also furniture, welding, and a host of other businesses tied to our feeding programs in Nueva Vida. But instead of taking you to each one, we'd like to take a moment to introduce you to Fabiola, one of the young women in Nueva Vida who has been transformed by the feeding center in her neighborhood.
Yo soy Fabiola Torres, tengo 19 años, ya me bachilleré, voy a estudiar en la Universidad de León por 2 años de asistente odontológica.
Fabiola will be the first in her family to attend university, and she is not unique among the youth rising up out of the local church feeding programs. We're so excited for the hope that these young adults are beginning to experience. Before heading back to the feeding programs for lunch, we want to brief you on the history of the community so that you know why so many businesses need to be created, why so many youth need to be taught, and why so many children need to be fed. The photos you're seeing are Nueva Vida as it looks today, but it was not always even as well built as this. On October 30th, 1998, Hurricane Mitch struck Nicaragua as the deadliest Atlantic hurricane since 1780. More than 6 feet of water fell in 5 days. The following weeks saw over 200,000 homeless refugees, many now living in broken families and tin shacks in the government-sponsored refugee camp of Nueva Vida, which means new life in Spanish. It was a desperate struggle to survive for the next 10 years. When Orphan Network began its first feeding program in Nueva Vida in 2005, we encountered hundreds of malnourished children. This photo of Yereth, on the far right, was taken in 2008 when she entered our feeding program. The blonde highlights in her hair are a visual sign of malnourishment. Now just 2.5 years into our feeding program, Yereth is well nourished.
Hola, yo me llamo Yereth y tengo 8 años. Mi color favorito es rosado y
From 2005 to today, Orphan Network has expanded in Nueva Vida to partner with 5 local churches to feed over 800 vulnerable children. Not only are children being nourished daily with a full, hot meal, but they are further developed in the arenas of education, health, discipleship, job training and creation, family assistance, and most importantly, spiritual growth. Come be a part of the lunchtime feeding program with us. As we head back into the kitchen, it looks like the food is steaming hot and ready to be served. From here, the young adults in the church take over, collecting bowls and plates from each child and serving appropriate portions of the food and drink. Each kid will receive one full, hot, nutritious meal between 700 and 800 calories. Children are served by table, so brothers and sisters are usually eating together. Friends are sitting with other friends, and new children at the table are quickly able to make new friends. For a child who might not eat another meal this evening, this is the highlight of the day. It usually takes about 35 minutes for food to be served and eaten by each child. The kids will take their own bowls or plates home and bring them back clean the next day. Many will stay at church for a few minutes to play with their friends before heading home for chores or homework. Sometimes the church will even host celebrations of birthdays, holidays, or unique community events for the kids. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to visit Nueva Vida with us. There's so much left to be done in the community, but we're excited for the hope and good work that is already underway in Nueva Vida. God continues to go before us.
Jesús, por ti yo viviré, nunca me avergonzaré. Oh, oh, te doy todo lo que soy. Toma, tómalo, toma.